What up? How's it going, everybody?
Hey everyone.
Nicole and Rob here in Colchester over in England. I want to give everybody an update.
The oldest town.
The oldest town in Britain. Yeah, they said it's been around since what, like the 1600s, I think.
Yeah.
So apparently where they wrote the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star
And Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk to you about. We're here to catch everybody up on what's going on over here with the tour, and we posted something yesterday about thinking about coming back because of the way things have gone up until now. So thanks everybody. What's up, Melissa Bana? Hey Chip. Lisa, how are you? So anyway, jumping right in. So yesterday was the first day that I personally really considered coming back. Yeah,
we had a pretty long talk about it.
Yeah, up until now, the coronavirus thing has been like, man, everybody's blowing this out of proportion, and really
we have things to do.
Yeah,
we don't want to give up, and
really hadn't considered coming back all that much. What's up, Sean Truesdale, Amanda, Josh? But yesterday, I think there was like 130 or 40 new cases reported 2 days ago in the UK. We heard about Trump closing the border, and then we're sitting at a Nando's chicken shop, Nando's Peri Peri. They're everywhere over here.
Right, we were.
And we're trying to get internet. We just dealt with this fiasco with the rental car, and woke up.
It hailed.
It hailed earlier that day. We couldn't get another rental car because they wouldn't accept payment for you wanted to put a large deposit on a credit card, and the card wouldn't go through, and then it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and we're just able to get internet
and have lunch.
First meal really of the day.
Yes.
Had a peanut butter sandwich earlier in the day because we're staying at a monastery, and they're on a fast, so they're only eating 2 meals a day. The meals are at 12 and 5. There's no television, there's no internet, and then so I don't know. It's just like
when you say it all like that,
it's a lot of frustration, and then it's like, okay. Yesterday we were just really wrestling with, okay, we both got signs that this is what we're supposed to do. Really felt real confident that God was saying go.
And even went back and started thinking through, what were those? Do those still apply? Do they still align?
Yeah. So then you're here. You feel like you did what you were supposed to do. You did what God told you to do, but things aren't working out. Like literally, borders closing, events falling through, death. Our tour manager had a death in her family. Her grandfather died while we were here.
My grandfather passed away.
All the talk about coronavirus. We posted a thing on Facebook. Of course, everybody's saying, come back, you're stupid. And then we're like, well, shit, what if we get sick? What would happen if we're American citizens? We don't know anybody over here. We're staying in a monastery. Like, what would happen if we got sick? Would they even take care of us? And then we're like, well, shit, if we go back, we could get on a plane and we might get sick on the plane. Like, because you're on a tube for 13 hours or however long the flights were.
And where we are, it just seems really safe.
Yeah. I
mean, one of the safest places.
Yeah, it's very secluded. It's out in the country, and
they grow their own food.
So on some level, it's like, okay, we're here. We have a car. We have a rental car. We have a place to stay.
Right.
We have books. I have a shit ton of books. We
actually have more people reaching out and asking us to come, which is surprising.
Yeah. So we're wrestling with this decision. She's got sons back home. She's worried. She's like, well, what if they get sick and I can't be there for them? So we had all these things that we're wrestling with yesterday.
Was definitely my worst day.
Yeah, it was.
It was so bad when we were sitting at that Nando's that I was like, I can't even work. I want to let's just go back.
That probably has been the hardest part. It's like, even when you do everything right, like we wake up early, we work out, I do my quiet time, I work out, and then we shower, and then it takes you 5 hours to get to a place where you even can get some Wi-Fi because the plug don't work, and and then it's like by that time you got decision fatigue because you've been trying to make all these decisions, and then you don't even have the emotional bandwidth to work to do. Like that was yesterday, anyway,
forget working. Like, we're making big, gigantic decisions.
It sounds really bad. It's not. It is. I'm trying to convey to you like the challenges that we're facing. Hey,
Yes.
Michelle Dudley.
And I'm not gonna lie, yesterday was bad for me because, like he's saying, there were big things that we're talking about. I have 3 sons at home, so like the weight of some of this it's heavy. It's like not just worrying about ourselves, but even worrying about our family at home. Like, what happens if we don't get to go back? And how do we take care of the people that we love from far away?
So anyway, that's where we were at yesterday. Made that post. Really was kind of torn. One side saying go back. I felt excited about coming home. Another side said stay. You're already there. You've invested money and time. You have a couple of events on the calendar. Like, we have an event next Friday at a bookstore, and then we're supposed to go to Spain on Monday. Not this coming Monday, but next Monday. So really just torn. We asked. I reached out to my pastor, Chris Lockamy. I'm like, dude, what do you think I should do? He told me he thought I should stay. He's like, you're there. God's got you. We actually had asked another pastor at a church that we spoke at. That was our third event, I think, second event. And he was like, stay. Encouraged us to stay. So it really, I guess, if anything, is like, what do you do when you feel like you're walking by faith, God's told you to do something, but none of the evidence around you supports that decision? I mean, that really is kind of where we're at, where it's just like roadblock after roadblock, and at the same time, we just don't want to miss the blessing, because if I'm supposed to be here, I'll ride it out. Like, I'll deal with all the hard stuff, not having food or places to work out or internet or all the stuff that comes with it, if I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. But then with this coronavirus is a whole nother challenge, because it's like, are there even going to be events? Because they're talking about closing schools and not allowing people to get together.
But then on the flip side, are we here for this time in this season on purpose?
Yeah, and I guess the thing is this is what I want to kind of convey to people more than anything, is like, some people will watch this and say, you guys are crazy. You're on a book tour and you're risking your lives to be on a book tour.
Yeah,
no. First off, I don't feel like I'm risking my life. I do feel like God's got me. But secondly, it's so much more than a book tour. Like, we aren't here to promote the book. We are here to start groups. Like, the book, this talk, which God has given us, so much more clarity since we've gotten here about how to go about all this. Where we have these forms that people are going to be able to check off and say, yes, I want to be part of a small group after the talk. We're going to put that small group together, and hopefully those groups grow into becoming city fams eventually over time, because
the bottom line is that people are lonely.
Yeah.
Even here in London, I mean, of course you guys know that, but in all of these cities, we're meeting people at every place that we go, and there's just this undertone. There's this common denominator of people need each other.
Yeah, I mean, the loneliness epidemic is pretty well documented. You can just Google it and see. And we believe that City Fam is the answer. And if we are going to start a worldwide movement, which is the goal, which sounds crazy and impossible, all we can do is take the next step. And we believe that this is a step that we were told to take. And I'm a firm believer that if God tells you to do something, you do that thing until he tells you something different, and that's kind of where we stand right now. So basically, we say all that to say we decided to stay, at least for now. We went to bed last night kind of, 50-50, woke up, and actually this is one of the factors that helped me decide, is I woke up and there was a message in my WhatsApp from somebody in Oxford, and they said, hey, can you come on Sunday the 22nd or Sunday the 29th? So literally that's right in between our bookstore, Hey for Books event on Friday, and then we're supposed to go to Spain on Monday. So there's another event. So that would literally be 3 events within the next week and a half. And I just can't leave. I don't feel good personally about leaving when I think that there's those 3 events that are on the calendar, and then something just doesn't sit right with me inside to just hop on a plane and cut my losses where I was actually thinking about that yesterday. Is like, maybe it's just time to cut our losses and head back.
Right. So much so that we actually even looked into flights, and we're almost about ready to go ahead and click the button. But and we even had a discussion about what's right for him may not necessarily be what's right for me. Like, he may choose to stay, and I may choose to go. And I actually got on the phone with my boys last night and started messaging them as best I could with what Wi-Fi we had. And every one of them, all three of them, were like, "Don't give up. What you guys are doing over there is so much more important." Like, they were encouraging me to stay, which was the exact opposite of what I felt like I was gonna get. I thought they were gonna be like,
"Come home," right? Yeah, and that's another. I mean, just to kind of lay it all. That is a challenge for us, because where we're at, yes, it's great. Like, we feel like we're in a safe place, but like at the end of the day, I drop her off at her house, and I go back to my room, and then you just, the only thing to do is really just read, and then you wake up, and then you face challenges again the next day. So it's been difficult. Like, this is, not been easy, but we believe it's that important.
There's some incredible positives too, though. Like, when we were at Ashburnham, we met a girl named Giovanna, and she immediately felt this great need for it and started connecting us to churches and started thinking through ways to get this message out in really big ways. And so what was interesting is we had already had a few people reach out from Brazil.
Yeah.
And so it was like just connecting the dots with some of these things.
And that's really it. Like, so there was someone from Brazil, Joan from Vegas is here. She's actually in France right now, but coming back.
Right.
And those are some, connections. We don't know what they'll lead to in time. They could lead to something big. They could lead to nothing at all. But at the end of the day, it's like, I personally don't want to miss the blessing. I've made too many investments in myself, worked on myself, hard changes. So if God's trying to do something here, and this is a test maybe, and like the blessing's right around the corner, like, I'm not gonna cut bait and come back when I don't feel like, if he hasn't told me. And he hasn't said anything. If anything, I got confirmation, because that event came through for me. That was a sign to stay. Like, hey, look, here's another event.
And the event that we have on Friday has grown and gotten bigger than we had expected.
Yeah.
So I think that's good news too.
So that's it. That's where we're at. Really just wanted to update everybody. What else is going on? Let's see what questions people had here. I'm going to pull this a little closer. Danielle Stevens, what's up? Hey, Terry Mitchell, how are you?
Hey, Danielle.
So, Elisa says hi. Hold off on Spain. You will definitely be quarantined for 14 days upon return. Yeah, I heard that they may even be closing the borders as soon as tomorrow there, so not sure about that. Actually, Italy was a spot that was originally, we were supposed to go to northern Italy, which is now out of the picture. Mm-hmm. Rihanna probably wants you to stay too. I don't know what that means, Josh. What's up, Willis? Claire, how are you?
Oh, hey, Cassie.
Cassie's watching. Hey, Christine. Michelle Dudley said, "I agree. If you feel that he gave you the green light to go there, stay. He will take care of you." And had any obstacles? Yeah, I agree.
Michelle, we actually even sat and revisited like some of the scriptures and some of the things that we felt like God had said originally, and so it just felt really, really clear. Yeah,
one of the scriptures, honestly, or the one that we got over and over, was Joshua 1:9. It said, be strong and courageous, that God will be with you wherever you go. And that was the one I kept reminding myself of. It was like, okay, he's here, this is the verse that he kept sending us, so we need to be strong and courageous, because it would be easy to be weak and fearful at this point, but we're not in that place right now, fortunately. And honestly, Nicole is a saint. If she was to go back, I don't know that I can continue without her, to be honest, seriously, because it would be very difficult to stay here on my own and do this. But fortunately, she doesn't feel like she needs to go back, so it's good.
No, but yesterday it was questionable.
Yeah, it was. No, even for me, it was the first day that I felt excited when I thought about coming back. So, but yeah, would love for you guys to pray for us. Keep us in prayer. Pray that we're safe, we're healthy, that God opens doors, that connects us with the people that need to hear the message, connects us with people that want to build community really? Because that's what, we're all about. That's what City Fam is about. Even though this isn't a City Fam trip, that is our heart. Our heart is to help people affect positive change on their lives through the power of community. Changing lives through the power of community. That's the City Fam mission statement. We've seen it happen. People get into community and they get sober. They end a dead-end relationship. They leave a toxic relationship. They leave a bullshit job that they hate and start a business. Like all kinds of positive things happen when you have healthy community, when you have a cheering section, a support, not even just a cheering section, but a cheering section that pushes you to become a better version of yourself, that has values, which is why I say a lot of times City Fam is a social group with values. There's lots of social groups, lots of social groups just go out and drink and they sleep with each other and whatever else, but they don't become the best version of themselves. Like that's what we're trying to help each other do, where we're like, hey, look, if you're doing something, somebody's probably going to check you, and City Fam be like, yo, you shouldn't be, getting hammered or whatever. Like, I thought you wanted to start that business. How are you going to do that if you're getting drunk we're going to push each other to become the best version of ourselves. And that's what makes City Fam so unique. And that's our heart is if everybody could have this,
we want the world to have this.
Yeah,
the world wants this.
I mean, it's happening in Houston.
Yes.
It's happening in Baltimore. It's not where it needs to be yet. We got work to do. We realize that, but
so do we.
And it sounds crazy, honestly. Like it sounds like an impossible dream. We get it. But if God put it in our heart, and He did, then I have to believe that He wants to do it. As crazy as it sounds sometimes. Like I just saw somebody walking on the sidewalk and he looked lonely to me. He just looked like somebody that needed friends as I walked by him, and I thought to myself, how in the hell are we going to build this thing so that everybody has community around the world? Like that seems crazy, to even think that it's possible. But we do think it's possible.
We do, and not only do we think it's possible, but we've even drawn some people in. I mean, like the girl at the rental car place, the guy who owned the restaurant. Like these are people that we've just met along the way that...
Yeah, like there was a girl at the rental car place, and like, she strikes up a conversation with anybody pretty much, and she's like talking to the girl, and the girl is just, broke up with her boyfriend, and, looked like, I don't know, looked like maybe she needed community,
So I gave her his Instagram.
So she's like, yeah, plug in with City Fam in London, and blah, blah, blah. And it was such an easy invite because it's like that social thing, and it... versus trying to say, oh, like really, maybe the girl needed, who knows what she needed. Maybe she needed recovery, or maybe she needed church or whatever. But that ain't the easiest invite, right? But you can get them to like, oh, come out, hang out with this group of people that will genuinely give a shit about you.
Right.
Like that's what we're trying to promote with City Fam is like, hey, look, sacrifice for that person next to you. Like let's go out and have fun together. Let's enjoy life. Let's go out and party, but let's, there's a line. We're not going to take it too far. Again, we want to become the best version of ourselves, but more importantly, let's care about your neighbor. Let's care about the person next to you. If someone's moving, show up, help them move. If they're sick, call them up. Like that's really, what we're trying to do. And I've talked a lot about it. For me, it was where this kind of hit me was I used to have a lot of friends when I was in the clubs, but I found the relationships to be very surface level. When the shit hit the fan in my life, those people weren't there for me. I really liked the people at the church. They were great people, very nice. They were there for me, They weren't hitting on my girlfriend when I went to the bathroom. They were real friends, but they were kind of boring, So we're like, so that's what City Fam is the best of both worlds. Like we ain't got to be lame. We should enjoy life more than anybody because we have community. We have great friends. Great deep friendships are built on sacrifice. That's what we're trying to promote. That's what City Fam's all about. And it starts with these talks. The more talks we get, the more people will catch the vision and start these little groups that have the potential to grow into City Fam chapters. The challenge for us is there ain't no talks right now. There's 3 talks on our calendar, which means when there's no talks, there's no money. There's no money coming in. So like that adds to the stress because now it's like, okay, like even a rental car, 25 pounds a day, $30, whatever. Not a lot of money, but it adds up. And then when you're like, okay, I'm only eating twice a day, I'm a little hungry, or like, I'd really like to go to a movie because we haven't watched TV in, 3 weeks, or, so, but everything, it adds to the pressure. It adds to the stress because the events aren't there yet, and this coronavirus ain't helping.
No, but it still feels right.
But it still feels right. So, yeah. That wasn't the most warm, fuzzy vlog. Hopefully everybody feels good
real,
about it.
though.
Yeah, if anything, there's going to be a positive ending for this, we believe, for sure. But if God's telling you to do something, walk it out. Regardless of the way
Sequoia,
things...
hug my boys
look.
for me, please.
Hey, Jamie, how are you? If anybody wants to give to the tour, yeah, feel free. You can
We
send...
can add a link to this.
You can send it to PayPal. Just use...
Mary Beth,
Actually, I'll figure out the link
look,
for
she
PayPal.
just said, what can we do to help?
Yeah.
Okay, so
we're okay right now.
you can give.
You can give if you want, but we're okay right
and
now.
you can pray.
Pray.
Pray that we stay healthy.
Yeah, prayers are the most important thing. Just if everyone could say a prayer. We're okay. We have a place to stay. We have a rental car. We have food to eat. We're all right.
And pray for the communities. Honestly, you guys, as all of this stuff unfolds, there's gonna be more and more people who need to be surrounded by people who are willing to give them a hand.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. All right. Talk to y'all later. See ya.
Bye.